From 2000 to 2008, Girlfriends will represent a group of women overlooked by Hollywood throughout the years. You see, the show will tell a story of four sophisticated black women who were looking to prosper with their love life and career. The show in its prime will receive a huge amount of viewership and even a cult following that is still present today. Despite not having mainstream recognition like its white counterparts, Girlfriends was considered by many a huge success. However, even with the success, the show would end abruptly without a proper farewell that has left many wondering what happened and why didn't the series, which ran for a total of 8 seasons, get a respected ending. Here's why Girlfriends ended abruptly. Following her work with Moesha and The Jamie Foxx Show, writer and creator Mara Brock Akil found herself being sought after by Hollywood. According to Akil, she would eventually be approached by the UPN network to help bring something to TV that could complement their then sitcom, The Parkers. By taking several characters from 2 different pitches that weren't working for her at the time, Akil would present Girlfriends to UPN. The inspiration for Girlfriends, according to Akil, was mainly an attempt to tell stories on the black women she knew because they weren't fully represented on TV. Now, despite having a resume that clearly proves she can bring quality to the forefront, Akil's then new series had a tough time to find a production studio who wanted to finance the series. Now, interesting enough, comedian and actor Kelsey Grammer would just so happen to be looking for content to produce with his production company, Gramnet Productions, and would find himself as the engine that would partner with Akil's talent to get Girlfriends on TV. In an interview with Sway in the Morning in 2018, Grammer would share that the reason his company would help produce Girlfriends was really because of the redundant talks of diversity in black television, with no solutions being really made. In his words, Grammer wanted to put his money where his mouth was. On September 11, 2000, the world would meet Joan, Maya, Lynn, and Tony, the main characters of Girlfriends. Actress Tracee Ellis Ross would take on the role of Joan, a successful attorney who would serve as the glue amongst the friendship of ladies on the show. Ross, who was the daughter of Diana Ross, surprisingly enough, was still quite new to acting at the time when joining the show. She had less than 8 acting credits before landing the starring role as Joan. When it came to telling the story of Maya, the housewife on the show, actress Golden Brooks would step into the role. Before joining Girlfriends, Brooks, who was a classically trained dancer, would also star on the series Links with Pam Grier for Showtime from the years 1998 to 2000. Now, for the role of the free-spirited Lynn, actress Persia White would step in. White, whose background includes a Ford modeling agency, dance, and painting, would work several TV shows from NYPD Blue to Sister Sister before joining the cast of Girlfriends. And lastly, the one and only Tony Childs, played by actress Jill Marie Jones, would round out the show's main cast. Tony would be a character that would receive her love and hate for her self-centered antics and diva-like behavior. Before taking on the role, Jones spent a few years as a professional cheerleader for the NFL and NBA and would ultimately move to Los Angeles for acting. Together, the ladies would showcase the variety that black women had to offer, and it paid off in a big way. People were waiting for a storyline like this, and Girlfriends will move along with several seasons. According to Entertainment Weekly, Girlfriends would surprisingly surge during its 5th season, a part of UPN's Monday night lineup. The show looked to have found its audience, and things looked to be promising as the series would air weekly. However, when season 6 of the series would happen, one of the ladies was ready to leave. Jones would ultimately decide that season 6 of Girlfriends would be her last. In an interview with Essence, she would explain her reasons for leaving the show and dismiss claims that it was over money. First of all, let me tell you why I left. I left because I wanted to do movies. My contract was up after my 6th season, and people forget that just like the network can choose whether or not to renew your contract, I can also choose and evaluate whether or not I want to come back. My actor's chair that has Girlfriends and my name on it, you know, the director's chair, well, on the very last day of my 6th season, I told them to grab my chair and put it in my car for me. Then we had to negotiate a contract that doesn't happen until they decide that your show is going to be picked up. I've never made a decision based on money. I was on the show for 6 years, and I think that's a good run. There's so much more I want to do in my career, and so much more I want to know and learn, but my departure definitely had nothing to do with money. Though Girlfriends would lose one of its main characters, the show was still worth watching. As season 8 would begin production, things appeared to be okay, but then everything just stopped. According to several reports, the CW network, who would begin airing Girlfriends in 2006 after UPN would be no more, would make an economic decision to not continue several shows on their lineup in the midst of the then writer's strike. Girlfriends was one of those shows. In a release statement, the CW would explain that they were going to pour their resources into series that were only set to return. Since Girlfriends was not going to be renewed for a season 9, production stopped in the middle of season 8. And just like that, it was over. A loyal fan base was put to the curb, and Girlfriends was no more. Clearly, this would strike a nerve with its then viewers, and even still with people today. How could a network let a hugely popular series end without a proper farewell? In comparison, Sex and the City only ran for a total of 6 seasons, but will go on to receive a respected ending, along with 2 full feature films based on the show, with a reported 3rd film that was supposed to take place. With Girlfriends ending, its cast and crew would have to seek new opportunities, and the show's creator, Mara Brock-Akil, would put her energy towards then series The Game. Years later, when asked about the ending of Girlfriends, Tracee Ellis Ross would reveal that she felt it was rude and unfair. The show clearly deserved better than its abrupt ending, and many do agree. In recent years, it looks that those directly involved with the show shared those same sentiments, as talks have now stirred up about a Girlfriends movie. Back in 2018, Comedy Hype would help break the news that a Girlfriends movie could be happening, and the show's main cast was interested. However, as expressed by Akil in a talk with the Breakfast Club that same year, she's faced some difficulty with finding financing to get Girlfriends fans their proper closure with the movie. Akil would further elaborate in a talk with Vulture magazine and would reveal that a script and storyline existed to build on, but for whatever reason, she couldn't find a production house who wanted to get behind the potential film. Yeah, you can tell any studio in town, if they got 50 to 60 million, I already have the script. We can make an epic story and we can make a lot of money. But me hustling and knocking on doors begging to do the story is not where it is anymore. It deserves somebody to see the value in it and write that check. That's what it's about. As of now, the former cast of Girlfriends looks to have kept things pushing along by maintaining their own respected careers. So who knows if the ladies will ever reunite to give their fans the proper closure needed. Let's talk about this more in the comments. Do you think Girlfriends should come together for a movie, reunion, reboot with its original cast, or is it just another one of those classics that should be left in time?